This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, last class we have been talking, or we have been discussing about how to call the server-side controller, right, in Lightning component using a client-side controller. How can we call? If you remember, there are four steps. What are those? Right? The step one is, as usual, you're going to call the method, get the method. Next, set the parameters. Third, invoke or call back the method. Fourth, enqueue the action. Right? Now, last class we hard coded it. Now, today's class, we will just go ahead and create an input and pass the parameter, which will be quite simple, right? So let me go ahead. Let me 2005. Okay, a lot of things are open here. Let me close this. That's good. File. Let me open the same yesterday's class. Right, I'm scrolling down. I'm opening, right, both.
Screen is not.
Sorry.
Screen, not a share.
Once again, I didn't got it.
Screen is
Screen
not
sharing.
visible.
Okay, screen is not sharing. Okay, no problem. Right, there we go. It should be. Right. So I just open the component, right? Control C. Let me close it. And that's the application. So I'm clicking on preview, right?
Still not able to see. We are not still able to see the screen.
It should be.
Oh, now it's there. Now it's there.
But don't worry. Right. And then we have, right, the application. So this is the application and this was the component. In the component, there is a simple button called create account and there is a controller written behind it. If you remember that at line number 8, we just hard coded it, which is working fine. Now let's go ahead and in the component, we will use whatever the program that we have been doing again every day. First thing, right? Let me go ahead and create Aura attributes. Aura attribute. Name equals to name. Simple. We did all these things long back and again we are doing it. Name equals to name. Type equals to string. Right. I'll create how many values we are passing. We are passing 4 values: name, rating, phone, industry. Right. We are passing 4 values. So there we go. Okay. Aura attribute string. Perfect. Copy 4 times. Right. Let's do 4 times. We have created the attribute. So the second one, phone, rating, and what the last one? It is industry. Go ahead. As usual, I will go ahead and create a lightning card. Right. You can give a title. This is the usual program that we have been doing always. Account creation. In this, what I'm going to put, right? If you want to put a icon, right, you can put an icon here, right? I'm going to have, let's say that, right? You want to have lightning layout, you can take it because let's use everything, whatever we have learned so far, right? Lightning layout. Inside the layout, I will have lightning layout item. Right, I will say size equals to right? 6. Let's say size equals to 6. The default padding I'm taking, padding equals to, if somebody is thinking Srupam without writing CSS, from where are you getting? This is a property which is available by default, right? Attribute available. You can see in the component reference library around small, right? You can now define a division and you can go ahead and you can apply a division. Whatever you want to do, you can do that, right? If you want to move it to left, right, center, bottom, wherever you want to put it, you can use a division, right? And you can put this whole layout inside a division and you can start, moving it wherever you want. The people who have done the, homework, they knows it how to do it. Lightning, right? Input, Lightning, lightning input, right? Label equals to what? ACCOUnt, account name. Label equals the account name. Value equals to what? Right? Value equals to exclamation v dot, the attribute name. Whatever data is there, I'm passing it here. I can go ahead and I can use, right, rather than attribute, I can use an ID and I can directly call the ID inside the controller. I can do here, right? Phone. It's nothing but the phone that we are passing. Account rating, right? Whatever the attribute that we declared, the value will be assigned to that attribute. Industry, we declared a corresponding attribute for it, right? There we go. So you can create one more layout to display. Control C. I'm creating one more layout, 6. I'm removing all the one and I'm saying, right, account name, right, account name entered is, right, next, Control C. Same, I'm just giving an output, that's it. Right, all has to be in a p tag, paragraph, each one of them I'm going ahead and I'm placing a paragraph tag so that it gives a one line gap, right? Finally, I will show the result also, because we are getting an output. We will transfer to this attribute rather than showing a pop-up message or a attribute result, right? Finally, I will say result. Result message. What is the result message? Control C. This is the attribute called as result. Okay, let me take in small. When I'm taking small, let's take everything small. Control C, Control V, one paragraph tag. Right? We have a button. Control X. Let's put the button inside the card in aura set. Right? So that whatever we learned, you can, right? Attribute equals to actions. Attribute equals to actions. Control S. Hope that where the problem, padding
Sir,
spelling
line
is
number
wrong.
10, padding.
Padding spelling is wrong. I can see that, right? So P A D P A D D I N G. right? Control S. Any other mistake? Still padding. Okay, here also there is a padding.
Sir,
Padding. Yes, tell me.
multiple rows also we should mention.
No, because finally my output is only one row. No, 6 plus 6, 12.
Okay, okay.
See, I have a 6 plus 6. If I have more than 6 plus 6, 12, then yes. Right?
Okay.
But now I need not to declare my multiple rows and everything because I'm giving 6 plus 6. If it's more than one row, then yes.
Okay.
Currently my sum is coming up to 12. Getting it?
Okay. Okay.
Right? I don't need that. So there we go. Control S. Perfectly fine. Now in the controller, the first thing before we start even invoking, right? I'm taking the same example. What I will do, I will go ahead and say var name equals to component dot right? What is that? Get. I told you without an attribute also you can do that by component ID, right? By aura ID. V dot. What was the field attribute field? Name. Simple. There's no rocket science. Now I have to have 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vars. Next one, phone. Always I know that it's the same phone, right? But always copy from here, right? Component dot, I know that this is industry. Same spelling, but still, right? Copy it from here. Next, rating. Where? It's better that I get it from the attribute directly. Perfect. Now, first thing that I pull the values from the component, I got the values. Next, name, right? I have to just match with what? Name. Control C. Name has to go to remove Microsoft. Put name. Next, phone. Remove this phone number. Put this. Next, industry. Control C. Whatever you're entering, it has to go to the industry. Next, rating. Whatever you're entering, that has to go to the rating. That's it. Rating field to rating, this field to this, that to that. Finally, right? I don't want the alert. I don't want the alert. I'm removing the alert. The result also have to set. C. COMPONENT component dot set. Set what? Component dot set. Set what? V dot. What was the field name? Field name is result. You can see you can put aura. You can put what? You can put if you want. I can use aura if. I can use aura if. I can use aura if. See, I can use aura if. Do you want to use aura if? Yes, we can. Let's do this. Right? I'll declare one more attribute. Aura attribute. Name equals to flag. Type equals to, right? I'm using whatever we learned so far, TYP. I'm trying to use everything in one program. Type equals to what? Type equals to Boolean. Default. Default equals to what? Default equals to false. Default equals to false. Right? Then this whole output, this whole layout, this complete layout, right? Or let the layout there. Let the layout there. I don't mind. Let the layout, right? The whole layout item. Why layout again here? Why lightning layout? Again, I'm closing. I can have 2 lightning items. No, somebody should have stopped me. Lightning layout item. Why I'm closing the lightning layout here? right? My second lightning item. Now check lighting layout, right? Layout item, layout item, layout item, layout item. Perfect. In one lightning layout, there are two layout items, right? One is, first item is size 6, second item is size 6. The second item I'll put under aura if. Aura if. How do you write aura if? Aura if is true. Is true. Is true is equals to what? Okay, by the way, let me starting itself do that, okay? Right? Okay, there we go. Is true. Is true is what? Which value I have? Exclamation v dot, which is by default false. That means, right? I'm control X. I'm cutting it, right? And I will place this inside the aura if. I've placed it inside aura if. Now, this will not be seen when the page loads. When the page loads, because by default it's false, right? So control S. Let's see any issues. No issues. Now the same flag I have to set it what? False. Not only I'm setting the result. Let's set the result. Dot result. First I'm setting the result. Right. First I'm setting the result. Comma. What is the result? Result is in res. Result is in res. Perfect. Result is in res. Similarly, I have to also set the flag to true. Control Z. Control Z. What is this? This was a step comment. Okay. Next, component dot set. What I have to set it to? What? True. True. Which one? Right. The flag. Control C. Right. V dot flag. Actually, this should be on the top. That's okay. It doesn't make a difference, but I'm just writing in a sequence. Immediately set the flag to true so that that particular layout is visible on the page as soon as it's done, right? Done. Else, what you will do? Else, right? Whatever the result is there. If it's fail, then also you have to do this in the error and failure also. Control C, right? Same thing, equals to false, right? Result will be result. If there is an error, system will display the error, right? If response equals success, see, even though there are two types of error, once again, let me call it out. One error is the one which will be created knowingly. For example, if you don't give the name, you click create account, that will be covered in this, not in this error. This is a NQ error. This is an NQ error. Remember this very well. It's a status, get status. Status is an NQ error, right? It will not show please try again. It will show, right? Please try again. Do you want to show this? I don't want to show because, sorry, I'll not show this. So error that you'll be getting, this error is a NQ error. It is not the controller error, server side controller error. It's not the server side controller error. All the server side controller error we are capturing where? In the result itself, in the try catch statement, try this, catch E. So whether the server side controller is returning an error, it will be in this only, in the success only. That is also success. That also will come in success. The whole NQ status is success. Able to understand there are two types of error. NQ error, the whole, right, client side controller itself problem, there is an error that will come in the error state. In the controller, server side controller, if there is any error, that will be handled with a try catch. Try catch, if a try catch runs, try runs, it's a success. If a catch runs, then also it's a success. Clear? Control S, right? Hope that there is no spelling mistakes and everything is good. Let's go back, right? And I click on update preview. Now I get a form loaded with, right? You can see that the remaining half of the screen is blank. Account name, right? Account name, JJJJJ. Phone, right? 88888. Rating, WARM warm. Industry, BANKING, banking. Create account. And I get the message. Account JJJ, result, message, account created successfully, and the account ID. Same class, same program of yesterday. Today we extended with a form. Yesterday it was hard coded. Today it was a dynamic. You can insert one more form, one more button here called clear. As soon as you clear, all this will go and set the flag to false. Again, this page will be ready for the next data entry. Or you can put it in the create itself. After it is created, right? Display this and then set it to blank. All these. However you want. Within the create itself, you want to write, right? You can do that. You can do that, right? So otherwise you can put another button there called clear, and everything will be nothing. Component.set name equals to null. Component.set phone equals to blank, right? Component.set rating equals to blank. Component.set industry equals to blank. That's it. Null, null, null. Set it to null. Set it to null. That's it. Set it to null. NULL. Clear everyone, or do you want me to do that? Everyone is fine? Everyone is fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes? You can create by yourself? No issues?
Yes, sir.
No issues? Everyone? Perfectly fine?
Yes, sir.
Right? Right. Now, see, what I can do is that, for example, this clear button, right? Clear, right? I can write in a helper. I can write in a helper, right? Whenever you click on create, it should call the helper, right? Now, we have been discussing helper, but I didn't came to helper anytime. So let's talk about it. If you remember that, there is a one more concept called as helper. What is a helper? Right? Helper is nothing but it supports, right? Helper, right? Supports what? Only the component. Whenever you write a helper, it supports only the component, right? It supports only the component, component. Any additional program can be put in helper. I told you it's same as the controller itself, but common program, reusability program, we can put in helper. First, let us see today's example called helper, and then we will write a program. Again, we will write something different this time, and right, same server-side controller. I told you another 2 classes. I will continue with this so that you all get by-hearted with it, right? So, file, new, lightning component, lc hyphen 2205 underscore eg1 underscore helper helper example, right? Anyhow, not required. When I create an app, I can copy it. Right, there is a component. Right now, simple example. I'll start with basic, nothing. Lightning button, right? Label equals to what? Good morning. Good morning. On click what? On click, you have to call what? Exclamation c.gm. Good morning. copy, paste. Next, I will say good night. One more button. GN, call good night. Right? Next, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Before I put the button, let me go ahead and enter some attributes. Aura. Aura attribute. Right? Name equals to. Name equals to. Right? Name. Name equals to name. Type equals to string. On click, you have to call a function. On, oh, sorry, why on click here? Not better. I'm also just moving in a flow. Default. Default. What is the default value? Default value is Rupam or attribute I created. I'm getting 2 or more attributes. 1, 2, let's get 3. Message 1, MSG1, MSG2, MSG3. 1, 2, 3. Right? No default. Right? Defaults are not there. No default. Perfect. Right? I have 4 attributes, 2 buttons, and then what I will do finally, just to show you, message equals to what? First one I am displaying a field, exclamation v dot the name, automatically Rupam will come. Rupam. Then I will say right. Let me go ahead and put the next one, message 1, control C. Next, sorry, all the 3 messages I'll put side by side. Message 1, right? I will say message, oh, message 1 is there, message 2, and the message 3. 3 here also, message 3. 3 messages. Perfectly fine, right? 3 messages. I can put a paragraph between each one of them so that it goes to a different line, right? In between, I'm placing a paragraph tag. Let it go to the different line. You need not to worry about it, right? There we go. It'll be pushed to the different lines. So Rupam, first message, next line, second message, next line, third message. I'm not using any card layout, that all you can use it. Now you know how to do this. Let's come to the core concept because we need to save time. Whenever you click on good morning, I have to go to the controller. Good morning. This is the good morning one. I copy it, control C, comma, good night. There are 2 functions. 2 functions. Perfectly done. Perfectly done. So what I will do, I will say component dot set. What set? The messages. What is that? V dot first one, message 1. Message 1. What do you want to set? Comma. I will say good morning. Good morning. I'll copy this message 3 times. Same thing, control V, control V. Message 2. I will say what? How are you?
Component spelling mistake, Rupam.
Oh, somebody got it. Okay. How are you? COMP PONENTCOMCON. Perfect. Thank you. Right. How are you? Right. Hope you're doing good. Good. Same thing when somebody clicks on good night button, the same thing should happen. Rather than good morning, I say good night or good evening. Okay, not a right statement. So good evening. Good evening. Right. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Same thing. Control S. Right. No issues.
Message 3, right?
Line number 6,
Sorry.
message 3.
Message
Line
3.
number 6. Line number 6. What happened? Message
It is
3.
message 3.
Oh, right. That's
And
correct.
13 also.
Yeah. Right. Control S. Perfect. Message 1, message 2, message 3. 3 messages. Now, Control S. New. Lightning application. I will say LA. Right. Control C. Subject. Right. C colon. C colon. Right.
LC, right, sir? Component
Yeah,
we
I'll
have
change it. I'll change it. Force SLDS because it's a component LC. Control S. Perfect. Fine. Preview. Right. System is loading. Message. If I say good morning, immediately message Rupam, good morning, how are you? If I click on good night, good evening, hi, how are you? Hope you're doing good. This 2 line is common in both the program. As usual, whether I click good morning, whether I click good night, good morning, good night, good morning, good night. Only thing is that the message 1 is changing. Message 2 is not changing. Message 2 is not changing, as well as the message 1 is also right. It's anyhow, this is a default attribute. Right, message 1 is remaining same, only 2 and 3 is changing, right? Then why I'm writing twice in the controller? Sorry, yeah. Why I'm writing twice in the controller? This message is repeating in both the places. Any common program, what you can do? You can go ahead and now click on helper. You can say what? My helper. Anything name you can give. My, right? My helper. This is valid where this helper should be working for the component. Control C for the component. The helper that I'm writing is to help the component. I will go to my component. I see that these 2 messages are common. Control X. I will directly put it in the helper. I go here. I don't need this message here. Delete. Because those are common. Control S. My helper got created. My helper got created. Done. Same as your JavaScript, you'll write it there. Now you have to call the helper wherever you want. How to call a helper? Helper dot the name of the helper, whatever the name you give. I gave the helper name as what? My helper. Helper dot my helper. There you said that it should be in component, so here also it should be component. That's it. I'm calling the helper wherever I need. I need the helper here also. I need the helper here also. Any common program, just a small example I'm showing you. Any common program, that's also a JavaScript. But why it is used? Any repetitive program in the real time, any repetitive program, you will use what? Helper. You can put them in the helper, and whichever function you want to call them, you can call them with a keyword called as helper dot helper name. If it's applicable for component, helper dot helper name component, helper dot helper name. That's it. Over. Control S. Right. Let's see updated preview. Right. I click on good morning. Same thing. I click on good night. Same thing. This is from the helper. Right. The below message is from the helper, because that's a common program between the two. That's a simple example of using a helper. Whenever you have any program, especially right, any clear command, right, any clear command, any table structure, we put it in a helper. If the same table is used again, I will create the structure and I'll keep it in the helper. Right, any type of clearing. Right, for example, with a button I want to clear, if the data is not populating, error, then I have to clear. Right, clear this. Such program we write in helper. Same as JavaScript. Same JavaScript. Right, the only thing is that, right, component.
Sir,
Yes,
helper is supports only components, right, sir?
only components.
Yeah. Why you mention again component in calling the
Right.
in component?
Okay, that's a good question. Go to the here. In app also there is a helper. You are calling that component inside what? An app. Right? In app also I can write a helper. In app also there could be same name. I can write whatever this helper I created here, my helper. Now see that I'm going to app. Where I'm going to app. There I'm clicking on helper and I'm giving a same name there also. Now tell me which one the system will run. To avoid confusion, right, we are using what? Component. If you, right, we are using what? Component. We are using what? Component. That's the main purpose. We will come to the app later. Now I'm not writing anything in the app. It's the same thing, but we will write it later. Because the helper, yes.
Sir, when we are doing any calculation operation, so can we initialize the value in helper and do our calculation in the JS file, that the controller? Is it possible?
You can do that. Yes, it's possible. Now the next program, okay, somebody asked us, let me go and write everything in the helper. Everything. Complete I will write in helper. Okay. You can do anything. It's JavaScript, I told you. You can initialize there, you can do anything there. Right. So in the next program, the things that I would be writing in the controller, I will no more write in the controller. I will write exactly the complete end-to-end enqueue program in helper. In helper. First, the system will call the controller. First, the system will call the controller always. It doesn't call the helper first. Remember this very well. It will call the controller. You need to have a reference of a helper in the controller. Right? Now, next program, let's do this. We will write everything, or the last program also. We can write everything there in the, right? We can write everything in the helper. Right? You want me to open the last program rather than, right? Close, file, open, right? Let's open yesterday's class itself, right?
Rupam, can we
Yes.
have the new program, because it will be easy to
Okay.
refer, right, based on the date.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's again I have to write that the whole thing. Okay, I can do a copy paste. Okay, is it fine?
Exactly.
Rather than writing?
Yeah, that's
Okay, then should be good
Yeah,
then. Okay, a lightning component LC 2205. What is this? I will say, let's example 2, right? Helper example main. Not even main, but okay, something like main. I'm giving it. So I'm creating a component. Right? Close it. Right? You can pick up everything, whichever one you want, we can pick it up. You can pick up this, you can, you can search. I can pick up a search program, right? Retrieve server-side controller. I can take that whole program. You want me to take it, or you want to take yesterday's one? Whichever one you want to take, I can take. Tell me, 2005 or 2105? Which one you want me to pick? Both are server-side controllers, right? SSC is also calling retrieving the data from this server side. Here also
Yesterday's
we have written a yesterday's program. Okay, right? So I'm copying only this. I'm opening yesterday's program controller, right? The whole control C till here. I'm copying it. I shouldn't forgot the brackets. Oh no, there we go. Control C. I go to my example 3. I go to the helper. I paste it inside the helper. Complete in the helper. Complete program in the helper. Now I go to the controller component. I go to my helper. I give component. I will say, right, CREAT, create CO, create ACC, HELPER. There is no need of writing helper, but just to recognize it. Create, right? My helper name is create account helper. My account, it says create account helper. Control C. Now, right, sorry. I go ahead. I go to the component, right? Example, let's example. Example 3, right? I go to the right? Controller of example 3. I'm in the control of example 3. I copy and paste it, right? Helper dot HELPER, helper dot helper name, right? In the bracket component controls. So what is happening, right? Component will be calling the controller. Controller is now calling where? It's calling the helper. Now, let me go to the right example 1. Call me, right? In the right, this is the helper, right? Let me go to the component, sorry, controller, call me. Next, fine. I'm closing example 1 of 2105. That's it. I have to copy 2104. Oh, why did I go close it? 2105. Let me open it because I have to copy the component part also, right? 2105 LC. Open. Click on component. Whole component. I have to copy. Control C. 2205. Where is that? 2205. Right? Here is the main component. Control. Control S. Control S. Helper. Control S. Close. Close. Now it's done. This is our today's component. 2205. Today's date. Example 3. The component. Whenever you click on this button, where is that button? Create account. It will call me. I go to the controller. It is calling the call me. Call me is calling an helper. What is that? Create account helper. That's it. Create ACC helper. Where is create ACC helper? Right? That is where, right? In the helper. In the helper. In the helper. I've written everything in the helper program. This helper is being called inside the controller. Controller is being called by the call me. See, actually, every time I have to write the program here in the controller. Now I've written where? We have copied and pasted it where? In the helper, and I'm calling the helper. Meaning is same. Everything is same. No issues. Right? New app. New, right? Application. LA. Copy. Control C. Submit. Right? C colon. C colon. right? Hey, just give me a sec, guys, here.
This
Okay,
conference
back.
will now be recorded.
Let's go ahead. Preview. Same thing. There is no difference, right? What is the name, right? KKKKK. Phone number 99999. Account rating, right? HOT hot. I'm leaving the industry. Create account. Account created successfully. No difference. Now you go, you'll see the account created, right? So whether you write the program in the controller, whether you write the program in the helper, but all the helper has to be called inside the controller. If you write the program in a helper and if you don't call the helper in the controller, don't think that it will run. It will never run, right? Always remember that, always component calls the controller. You cannot write here call me and you will write a call me in the helper. It will not work. You write, whenever you say lightning button label equals to create account, on click equals to call me, immediately system will search where this call me in the controller. In the controller it will search. It will never go and search in the helper. Inside the function you can call a helper. Helper is secondary. It is not a primary. The primary is controller. That means any call made by the component will be made. Any call made by the component will be made to controller, not to the helper directly. Controller in turn will call helper. Clear now? Right? Clear now? Now, let's take a same example. Let's take a same example. Rupam, right? This is not fair. You are telling me to enter name, phone, industry rating, right? Result, all are string. If there are 100 fields, will I declare like this 100 attributes to create an account? I am taking a primitive data type and I'm showing you where in the helper, I'm passing the like 1111 mapping of an attribute I'm passing. This is not fair. If there are 100 fields in an object, will I do like this in the set params? Name, phone, fax, rating, city, country, zip code, right? Street 1, street 2, street 3, street 4, street 5, email 1, email 2, mobile 1, mobile 2. How many field I will pass like this? Right? 100% somewhere I'll commit a mistake and something will go wrong. Why can't we go ahead and pass S object as an attribute? S object as an attribute, right? Let's do this, right? Once again, it will be revision, simple changes, but it will be quite good revision for you, right? So I'm closing everything, right?
Sir, what is the difference between the helper from a component and a helper from an
Nothing.
application?
I told you, no, right? It will be helping the component, that will be helping the application. That's the difference. Whenever you have more than two application, when in an application, currently what I'm doing, if you remember the first class I told you, couple of classes, not first class, in between the first week of the class I told you, we are creating one component, one application. Currently, to show you, to make you understand, for every component I'm creating one application. But actually there can be 100 component, one application. In an application, you can call any component. Application has nothing that you should call only 2205. You can call it in a single. I will write only one app main. On that, I will start calling from 1901, 1902, 1903, whatever it is, right? 100 components can be called in one app. Now, there I will write a logic. I will write a controller. Right, whenever I'll put a button, two buttons, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 3. Whenever you click on week 1, any component that starts where what we started creating in week 1 will start showing. Let's say that whatever we did in this week, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, week 1. Whenever you click on week 2, it will start showing any component that starts with right? LC 1105, 1205, 1305, 1405, 1505. When I click on another button, where these buttons are, not on component, on the application. On the application, I will put 3 buttons. When I click on, so there also have to write a controllers, and there also have to write when you click on that right button, automatically a controller has to be called. That's the reason whether you go to the app, whether you go to the right component, you have a same bundle. That means components can be controlled. You can do your own style there, right? Application style. Inside that, you can start calling the component wherever you want. 100 components, but I can't display all the 100 in a single application at a time. I'll put some buttons, I'll put some checkboxes. If you put a check, automatically 1905 will appear. If you put a check, automatically 2005 will appear. If you select these radio buttons, 3 components will appear at 20, whatever the example 1, example 2, example 2, example 3 have written. Where I'm writing this logic, right? In the application controller and helper. Application controller and helper will help the app. Component, controller and helper is helping. So component. Getting it? Right? Now I'm writing one component, one app. If I write 100 component, one app, then you might need to write a logic there. When to display which component. Whenever you say create account, automatically anything to do with account, or I will put a button called account. As soon as I click on account, what are the things that we did with account? Displaying account. We did that, right? We were displaying the accounts. Displaying account. Now creating an account with an SQL query. You remember we displayed the account, one account information, right? Now that is account related. Today or yesterday we did what? Create account. This also account related. Whenever you click that button, 2 components should be visible. So how can you do that? In the application also you need to write a program, a JavaScript to do that. That's called application level. So you can write all the bundles at both the levels, right? Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, now let's close it. Once again, I'm rewriting the program very fast. New Apex class CL, right? Underscore 2205 underscore. I should have written. Now I didn't wrote example 2, right? I wrote example 3 directly. So, right, not a problem. 2205, right? EG2. Have I written example 2? Because I saw last one I have copied as example 3.
No, sir.
Did I? No, right? Today, did I use example 2? Yes or no?
No, no, sir.
No. Okay. From 1, I directly jump to 3, right? Okay. So, example 2, right? What? I will say CREAT, create, right? CREAT, create ACC, right? Create ACC2. Create ACC is already there. So, I'm one more class I'm writing. Create ACC2. This is the class name. Same thing. There we did with individual field. Now we do with the subject data type. As usual, before the method start, aura enabled, right? Aura enabled. Now, public, static, string. What is that? Right? Call ACCOUNT, call account. I'm creating. There I said create account. Here I'm saying call account. And ACCOUNT, ACC. One attribute has to be passed. As usual, string result. That's where my result will be there. I can copy the same program that I did yesterday, day before yesterday. Try this. Catch. Any error? will be stored in exception. E. Try what? I need not do any mapping. Whatever I'm receiving, I can say insert ACC. Right. Next, result. You can say ACC.id, account ID that created. I'll say success. Success. Next, fail. Right. Result. Result equals to what? I'll give the E dot get message. E dot get message. When everything is done, try catch is done, return. Return what? Return the result. Control S. I forgot the colon. Control S. Done. Right. Control S. What's the problem?
Line
Let's
number
check
10
it out.
semicolon.
Semicolon, sir.
Line number 10 semicolon. Anywhere I missed a semicolon? No. Control S. Right. What has happened? Result equals to success. What's the problem? Double quote.
The letters.
No, by it's a single quote. It's a string. It's a single quote, because in Lightning we're using double quote. Here I'm using single quote. Be careful, right? You will be in that flow, because Lightning everywhere I use double quote, double quote, double quote. So when you come here, by mistake we use a double quote. It happens. Illusion. Now no error. A class has been created. File, new, Lightning component, LC underscore 02 underscore, right? Create account as S object. S object. Oh, as S object. As S object. Right? Closing. First thing that you're going to do, controller equals to what? You have to call the class. What are the class that you created? Right? Controller equals to this. What were the classes that you created? Okay, sorry, in between I'll be keep on jumping. I have certain things back.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now let's make the component. We'll make it fast now. Aura attribute, right? Name equals to ACC. Next, right? Name equals to ACC. Type equals to account. Now, because I have to take an input, I have to initialize it. Account S object data type. When you create, you have to initialize, but when you S object type equals, colon, right? What is that? ACC OUNT. This is how you initialize. Then I can directly use lightning card. Title equals to account, right? Lightning card closes. In this, I can use input. Lightning input. Label equals to what? Label equals to account name. Value, whatever you enter, equals to what? Equals to exclamation v dot acc dot name. V dot acc dot name. Perfect. Everyone knows it. Right. Copy. How many fields you want? Sick, facts, phone, right? Disk, rating, industry, control S. Hope that this all fields are there. It's all there, but yes. Now a button. I'm directly placing the button here. You can use Aura, lightning, button, label, submit, on click, C dot, call me, control S, my component got created, control C, I go to the controller. I told you I can write everything in the helper and helper will, I can call the helper, right? But no fun, right? That's good. Now, let's go ahead. How do you write? First, you have to get the value. Var ACCNT equals to component dot get. Get what? Get what? V dot. Even though if you know, I know it's ACC, but still copy from there, right? Next, done. What is the step one? Tell me. What is the step one?
The
Tell me,
method
guys.
name.
Get the method name. Now you have to tell, I don't know. I'm new to this. Method name is done. Next step. What is the
Get the
second step?
parameter. Get the parameter.
Pass the parameter.
Action dot set params params, right? It should be in the JSON format. Bracket. What is this? Here we say ACC. That's the reason I didn't took ACC here. Otherwise, I'd have. You can take it, no problem, guys. Last example, if you see name, I have taken same thing, right? Now, pass the value. Whatever the value you pulled, you got it from the component. I'm passing it. Next, what is that?
UXN.
Function.
Set callback. This, comma, function, comma. You can give any name. Because in this I'll have a response, so we give it in the real time. We give a correct name. This is a right third step. What is the fourth step? $A
Thank you.
NQ.
Thank you.
ENQUEUE ACTION. A capital. Remember that. NQ action A capital. Whatever the variable that you have declared. Control C. Over. We write the program inside this curly bracket. Actually, ideally it's over. We write the program in this curly bracket. Enter. What is
The
that?
line for component spelling.
COMP. Which line?
Line 4.
Line 4. COM.
And 7, do we have to put it in the quotes? It's
Which
JSON format. Line 7.
No, this I need not to put. No, this is a value. If I put it in the quotes, what will happen? This will get hard coded. An account will be created with ACCNT.
Right.
Right? No, that is the reason. First, I hard coded name equals to with the right. Whenever you're hard coding, then we want it's a dynamic. This is not a. Otherwise, every time you click the button, account, ACCNT account will be created. No, so it shouldn't be in a quotes. Right? Fine. Now let's go ahead. Right? Always var state equals to where it is in the response. Response dot. What is that? Get state. This will give you the state of the what? Of the enqueue action. If the enqueue action is success, then only I will pull the result. If what is that? State. That's the variable that I declared. Equal to, what is that? SUCC is a success. Then only where now where res result equals to what? Response dot get return value. Response dot get return value. Response dot get. Now what do you want to do? You can put an alert or console.log. I want to log in the console. What is that? Whatever the res I got, I want to log in the console. Control S. If I've not made any mistake anywhere, either in extra bracket or in a spelling mistake or caps on, caps off, right? Perfectly fine. Done. Our work is over. Now, file, new application. LA, right? Copy, submit, right? So, C colon, right? Extends. Force, SLDS. Oh, any problem?
So line number 2, LC.
Component.
LC. Okay, LC. Control S. Fine. Done, because that was our component. Review. Same thing what we did with individual field. Now I'm getting with what? Account name. Right? What is that? I will say, right? What is the account name? I will say LIGHT, Lightning Technology. LIGH, Lightning Tech or Wipro. Account sec, right? I will say TCH, Tech, IT. Fax 0402222. Phone 0403333. Account description. This is an IT company. Account rating warm. Industry information technology. It will be too long. ENERG, energy. Click submit button. Right click, inspect. Right click, inspect. Console. Success. See, success. I didn't, because in my program, right, I just said result equals to success. Let me go ahead whether an account called creator or not. Let us check. View all. See, here I'm not writing the individual fields. Right? Wipro, see, it got created with 033. You open, all the data of the Wipro will be there. Whatever we entered the description, this is an IT field, this is an IT company. It will go to the, when you go to the description, see, this is an IT company, SIC code, IT, I applied. I gave industry as energy. So our program is working fine, right? Using what? Passing S object as param. Earlier I created 4 different attributes. Now I just created one attribute called ACC and all ACC.name. The complete ACC I am pulling it inside and I'm passing it to the S object data type as a param, as a parameter. I'm passing it to the server-side controller. Server-side controller is receiving it. After it receives, it receives as ACC. It inserts the ACC. It gives the response as success. Suppose I don't fill the name there, right? If I go ahead and if I don't fill the name here, right, I keep it blank. I say submit. Immediately I'll get an error. See, required field is missing name. From where it's coming, it's passing. In the try catch, this is the message result. And that's what I'm getting in the page. You can see here, because I said console.log, no? So it's coming here. Console.log. Clear? Everything is fine? Now,
Rupam,
tomorrow, yes.
yeah, in the same, I want to
Rupam,
use the actual data type. Like in account, we have pick list and minus N. So
Definitely, we'll come there, right? These are all pick lists, Rupam. Whatever we are doing, still it's not feasible. It's not, I don't see a drop down, right? I don't see. So in such cases, what do you have to do, right? I don't see those. We have a next concept coming up, LDS, Lightning Data Services. We have a next concept coming up called as LDS, right? We'll talk about it. Now, currently I'm showing you, right, in just without an LDS. Actually, am I supposed to write a server-side controller? You tell me this. What is the purpose of Lightning? Make it fast. But again, for saving an account, you're depend on where? You're writing an Apex class. The main objective of Lightning is not to write a single class. No Salesforce Apex class. Without a Apex class, I should be able to save the account, create account, retrieve account, delete account. Only client-side controllers. Now you see that I'm writing a client-side controller to pass a data to the server side. I'm writing a client-side controller. What this is doing? It is passing, it's calling a server-side controller, it's passing the parameter, and it's getting the response from the server-side controller. For saving, I'm dependent on a class. If tomorrow that class is not working, the whole component will not work. This is not the real purpose, right? That's the reason I'm telling you. Another 2 classes I will write, 1 or 2 classes I will write server side. Then I'll stop it. No server side after that. Complete client side. Complete client side. There will be one place again in the event. I'll come and I'll show you how to write an event on server side also, as an example. But your real-time work will be less server side and more client side. Can I achieve the same goal using only a client side controller, Rupam? Yes. That's called the LDS, Lightning Data Services. Lightning also has one service, data service. We will call that LDS. We don't want to call server side. Client side LDS will call, and it will work. Right now, get adjust with how to call a server side. Right? Because sometimes you might require in real time to call the server side also. This is how we call the server side classes. Somebody will ask, right? I want to call external system, right? In my integration classes, right? Which I have not yet started. In the integration class, I will write to send an SMS, right? I will write that an SMS, as soon as the account is created, SMS has to go to the account. Where will write the logic? Then I have to depend on server side controller. The platform has to send the SMS, not this application. In those cases, calling an API, we still depend on server side. You cannot do everything on the client side. Whatever we can do from the client side, we'll do it. For example, creation of data, I don't need a server side controller. I can write LDS and I can use it. But everything, if everything can be done in client side, then why you need a server then? So there are certain things which you are dependent on server. That is the reason I started with how to contact a server side controller. Right? You see that by now you realize that every server side controller, the step is same. Call, set param, invoke, enqueue. Call or get, set params, then invoke, and the last is enqueue. These are the 4 steps, which is common every day. Almost for the last 2 days, I'm writing the same thing. Clear? Saturday and Sunday, no classes. We will meet again on Monday, right? Monday, I will show you something new called as table structure. Table, Lightning data table. Slowly, I'm moving towards the data part of Lightning Data Services. Now, next time we will see tables, how to write a table function, right? And then we will go to the event. After that, we will go to the LDS, Lightning Data Service. We'll come to that. Clear now? This is how we will be moving. So thank you guys. Everybody is able to understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everybody is able to write a server side. How do, in interview they will ask you, what is an enqueue action? What is set callback? When do you set? Tell me a scenario where you set the parameters. Don't say that I don't know. We set the parameters whenever we are calling and server side controller. We want to pass a component value to a server side controller to get a response. We use set params. How do you get the response from a server side controller, or how you get a response from an Apex class using get return value, right? How do you know whether your client side controller is able to make a call to the server side controller successfully? How do you know? By state, get state. Get state will give me a status whether my client side controller was able to make call to server side controller successfully or not. That is the reason I'm taking the state first. State is success. If client side was able to successfully call server side, then only get the result. So these are a couple of interview questions. They will put left and right. Right? What is component.get? What is a component? What is a helper? What is the difference between component and helper? Right? You should be in a position to tell. Right? That's it, guys. Thank you. Have a nice and wonderful day. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.